this concept. Is it everyone is clear with this inheritance, or do you want me to repeat it? Can I get some reply? Do you want me to repeat, or we can continue with the next concept? Clear, right? Okay. What about the other? Only Hemnath is responding. Okay, let me repeat it again. So previously we have discussed about what is class and how we can create a class and how to create an object. So first we will see how to create a class. To create a class, we'll be using a class keyword and what is a class name. So example, class name is going to be, Hepzibah. So I'll be giving a class name to be Hepzibah and the attribute name. You can give whatever the thing. So I'm just giving a content. This is my attribute name. So this is to, creating in a class. So next is creating an object. Okay. So creating an object in the sense, so what is the class name here? It is Epsiba. Here I'm giving object name is obj in the class name of. So this is how we'll be creating an object. So I hope till this everyone is clear how to create a class and then the object. Okay. And here we will be using a self. So self is nothing but it's like a parameter. This is a self instantiate. So that's why we are using this attribute. Okay, self instantiating attribute. So that's why we are going for this self parameter. And then we have one more thing. It is called as init method. So this is a method. So here we will be giving a different parameter value. We can create this method. So in the previous example, whichever we have discussed previously. So in the previous example, what we have discussed to students, anyone remember? How we can create a normal class and everything. You remember? So this method is, it runs soon as the object of class is instantiate. So once a copy of the object class is created, so we will be using this method. And self is like a class method must have an extra first parameter in the method definition. So we do not give a value for this parameter when we call the method. We don't want to give any value in the self. So if suppose you are creating the class. So let's see one example using a class first. So I'm creating Hepzibah as my class name. Okay. And I'm creating a class attributes. So I'll be creating a class attributes. Let's say I'm giving a variable to be A or let's give a course. Okay, course is equals to what is the course you are doing? Foundation. So this is my class attribute. And again, I'm creating a instance. So instance means here you don't want to create any object to call a method. Okay. So here you don't want to give a value for this parameter when we call the method. We don't want to give any parameter value. Okay, ma. So this is, instance attribute. So in this instant attribute, this is the thing. So in an instant attribute, I'm just giving a method that is what? Init method. Init and then self comma name. And here I'm assigning self Here I don't want to create any kind of value. So directly I can give self dot name is equals to name. So and then next is instantiation. Object instantiation means so here I'm going to create an object. So how we can create an object? So you can give an object name first. So let me give the object name to be mm, start date. So I'm just giving start. So starters and the class name is what? Hepzibah of, and I'm giving this object name inside this. And and okay, I've created two objects now. So how we can access the two different attributes. So one is class and the another one is instance. Instance is C. Okay. Okay, here I want to print the value. So let me give, I'm going to join the string as well as the data. So that's why let me give the start date is. Okay, like this, I've given a content and then I'm using dot and using a format method. I'm just combining the things. Okay, so here I need to use this dot object dot underscore class of the attribute. What is the first value? It's course, right? So I want to print the course here. So this is the way you can access the class attribute. So this is the, I'm giving as end date, changes to end. Instance attribute. Here I'm giving what? I can directly. So you just note down the way how we can accessing the values for the class attribute and for the instance attribute. Okay. If it is going to be the instance attribute, we'll be giving the object name to be start dot and what is the here will we are using name, right? So dot name, and here it is going to be the start, sorry, the end dot name. What is the error? 1 minute, let me check. Okay, sorry. Just to give this dot. Okay, so you can see the start date is, it should print the foundation. So we already executed this code, but getting some simple. So let me make the changes of this one. So let me give. So was the way the same thing I have given course. So self dot name object start and give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm just working on it. So what is the error? Let me check. What's the name of this? I can change. Okay, ma'am. So now it's working. Actually, I didn't use it curly brace, right? So that's why it is showing an error. Okay, clear? So now we are getting right. Start is a foundation and end is our also foundation. My name is start and my name is end. If I delete this, okay, if I delete this one, then I won't get the out. Clear? That is the error. I hope everyone is clear till this. Clear about how to access the class attribute and the instance attribute. Instance attribute means directly you can give. If it is going to be a class attribute, you need to use this. Okay, fine. So now the next concept we will see about the that is inheritance. We already know, right? Inheritance. So we'll see some two to three examples so that we can understand so what it is going to be, right? So previously I was showing you an example. So regarding this inheritance. So let's see that example again. So it's about inheritance. So inheritance, we have already discussed about this inheritance, but here also we have multiple inheritance like the single and multi-level and hierarchical and multiple. So these are the different inheritance we have. So first, if you talk about this, single inheritance. Single inheritance means what? So it enables the derived class, nothing but our subclass. Okay, derived class to inherit the characteristics from a single parent class. And what is called multi-level? So multi-level inheritance means it enables a derived a class to inherit a property from an immediate parent class to which in turns inherits the property from his parent class. Okay. So this is, it is not characteristics. Okay. The characteristics from the single parent class. So this multi-level means derived class to inherits the properties from the immediate parent class, which in turn inherits the properties from its parent class. Okay. And what is called as hierarchical? So hierarchical inheritance. So this enables more than one derived class to inherit the properties from a parent class. Okay. So what is hierarchical means? It enables more than one derived class. So more than one subclass will be there to inherit the properties from the parent class. So the above two words too, it will have only one derived class. But here in the hierarchical, we'll be having multiple subclasses. And then what is called multiple? What is called multiple? So multiple means here, it enables one derived class to inherit the properties from more than one base class. It enables one derived class to inherit the properties from more than one base class. Okay. So this is about it has a one subclass. It inherits the properties from more than one base class. So that's about a multiple. Clear? So this is about the inheritance, different types of inheritance. So now we will see some examples of this one. First, we will see the basic example how to create the inheritance. So first I will create a parent class that is called as a base class. So class is equals to, I'm creating, Tech-Saksham is a class name. Tech-Saksham is a class name and function name. And I'm giving a foundation, or we can take it as artificial intelligence self as a method name. And then I'm printing the value. Go through the AI content. Okay. So this is one print method. The another is I'm giving a definition that is def, and I'm giving that is full stack web development. So this is the another method name created. So print dive into full stack web development. Okay, clear. So like this, I have created two method inside the base class that is called as a super class called Tech-Saksham. Okay, and I'm going to create a derived class now. So derived class, here the class name, and I'm giving a subclass is going to be let's take for the student. Okay, let me give it as a class name as student. I'm going to extend this with the base class called Tech-Saksham. Okay. Here also I'm creating one method. So def welcome content. Self. So before knowing the course, the students should know what are the things, right? So for that, we're creating one function called welcome content. So here, let me give a print. Okay. And then create an object of the Tech-Saksham class. So this is a base class and this is a derived class. Here we are creating an object for Tech-Saksham class. So how we can create an object? Let me give the object name to be obj is equal to the class name is, I will create a class for this student class only, not for that one. So students class of, and using that object, I can call the values of, call the method of both the Tech-Saksham and student classes. So calling the members of the Tech-Saksham class. So we can do this. Object name is obj. So obj dot the method. I have two methods, artificial intelligence and full stack web development. So let me copy this. Okay. And then calling the member of the derived class. Derived class name is a student class. Here I'm giving obj dot the method name is what? Welcome content. That's it. Clear? So now what will be the output? So all the three methods will be executed. You can see, go through the AI content, dive into the full stack. Welcome to TSP program. Clear, ma? I hope everyone is clear with this inheritance. So let's see one more example. Is it everyone is clear with the inheritance? Any questions as of now? If you don't have any questions, so we can see one more example, how we can work with this inheritance using a init, that is using a constructor. So let's create the another example for this one. So here in this example, I'm going to use the constructor. Okay, constructor is nothing but init. Init method, sorry, that the init method which we are using, that's going to be called as a constructor, right? So here, let's create a parent class. I'm giving a class name to be, let's consider I'm giving a class name of, um, sorry, ma. Meta Nandini. Okay, let me create one object that is class name here. Let's take person and I'm extending this to object. So later I will create one more, subclass. I think so. This will be, more complicated. So first we will complete all this and we'll see more examples. Okay. So next you can see about a polymorphism. So what is called polymorphism, students? Okay, multiple forms, single person perform in the multiple ways. We can execute many objects. Okay, let's see. So it simply means having a many forms, right? So it will have a different forms, and whatever the example you have given, the same thing. So many forms. For example, we need to determine if the given species of birds. So it's a real good example, which we had it in our content. Okay. So we have a different birds, right? So some birds will fly, some birds will not fly. So the polymorphism, we can do this using a single function. Using this, we can predict whether it is going to be, fly or not. So let's see. So first I'm creating a class. Let's say I'm giving a bird as my main, that is derived class, base class. And the function name is going to be a intro of self, the parameter value. And I'm printing the statement. There are many types of birds. They flight. So I'm just giving a flight. So this is the another method name. Okay, I'm going to give a same method name now. Okay, let's see. In this method name, I'm giving a print. Most of the birds can fly, but some cannot. So def. Okay, so this is the main method. I have two things. One is there are many types of birds, and the another method is flight method. So now I'm creating one class. So the class name is going to be a sparrow. So we know sparrows, right? So sparrow will be flying, right? So it will fly. Um, so here I'm extending this class bird class, and the function name is def, and the method name is a flight of self. I'm giving a sparrows can fly. So this is a statement for this one, this for this method. And again, I'm copying this. So let's copy this. Here I'm changing this content to ostrich. Ostriches cannot fly, right? So these are the three classes we have created, but same method you can see, but different values are there, right? So then I need to create an object for all these classes. So let me create object. First is bird. For the bird, the first that is derived base class. I'm just giving a bird and then object underscore a sparrow is equals to sparrow. and then object underscore of what is that ostrich is equals to the ostrich. Okay, three for the three classes I've created a different know the class, that is object name has been created for different classes. So now how we can call this? Let me copy this object dot birds dot intro. So first is intro. So that will display for this one. And again, for what is the second method? Second method is going to be flight. So we'll change this to flight of method. For the others also, let me copy this. This is for the sparrow. So output you can see. The first output is what? This one. So object bird dot intro. Intro we have given there are many types of birds and most of the birds can fly but some can't. And second one, it is going to be for a sparrow. So for sparrow, there are many types of birds. For the intro, it will again show this. And the sparrow can fly and ostrich cannot fly. Everyone is clear with this polymorphism, how we can work on this? Yes or no? Any doubts from this? Any questions? I hope everyone is clear till this. Can we move on to the next one? Or if you have any questions, you can ask me. Any questions from this, ma? Clear, everyone? Yes or no? Guys, can I get some response? Everyone understood yes or no? Just tell me some responses. Give me some response. So thumbs up or say yes or no. Okay, fine. You want one more example or we can go with the next one? Next concept. Can we move on to the next oops concept? So yes, I told like 1 o'clock, right? So we are having some 45 minutes to complete the session. So yes, we will complete this oops concept by today. Most probably from tomorrow morning, we can complete MySQL connector. That is a database with Python. And one more thing is a cloud computing part. So we can start cloud computing and what it is. And we will have some discussion about what is cloud computing and what is Microsoft Azure. And then I will showcase you an example. Okay, clear? So that is tomorrow's task. Okay, someone was asking this question, I think Venkatesh. So whether we can use this method overloading and overriding concept in Python. Can anyone knows? Can we use method overloading and overriding concept? What is method overloading and what is called method overriding? So that we already discussed in this Java part, right? So actually in Python, the method overloading and overriding the concept that are supported, but they work in slightly different way when we compare to some other programming language. Okay, so there is a slight difference. We can work on this. In a traditional method overloading, as seen in languages like Java, so involves defining a multiple methods in the same name, in the same class, right? So what we will do in Java? So Java, the same name, and then it will have a multiple methods for a same class. All right, same name, multiple methods, and same class. But with the different parameters, right? So, but with the different parameter types or number of parameters. Different parameters. Okay, Amma. So this is how we have come across in Java, right? So same name, multiple methods, same class. Method overloading, same name and arguments is different, ma'am. Method overriding method and argument should be the same. Okay. Yes, we will see one example how we can achieve it in Python. So Python, however, does not support method overloading in the same way. So we cannot do it on the same way, but we can do it. You can achieve a form of method overloading through the default value or the variable length argument list. Okay, so we can achieve it in a Python. How we can achieve it in the Python? In a Python, you can achieve it. So it does not support method overloading in the same way, but you can achieve it. So how we can achieve? Through a default values and the variable length. Okay. So through the default value and variable argument list. So let's see how we can do this. Is Jagadish.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, Ma, you were asking something. Muted.
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, so here we can see one examples on this method overloading. So I'm creating a class called, let me give, I'm going to do some calculation, that is addition. So let me give addition here. And I'm creating a method. So define add. So first is I'll be using a self. Okay. So if I use self, I don't want to give any specific value. A default value will be taken. So through the default value, we can use it. And the variable length argument we need to give. So variable is I'm just giving a and the other variable is going to be 0. And this should return a plus b. Okay, and then I'm creating an object. So let's say giving it as a result, okay, is equals to a class name of. So here I have created an object. So in this place, we have created object and here I've created a class. Clear? So next is I'm going to print the value. How we can print the value? So what is the object name? So object dot And the method name is going to be what? Add of. I'm just giving a value to be 5. So I'm just going to add a 5. So 5 is the value of what? For the A, right? So B value is already there. So A plus 5 is what? It's going to be, let's see, it's going to be 5. So let's give this to be 1. So now it is going to be 6. Okay, like this you can achieve this, method. So you can see the, here this add method can be called with 1 or 2 arguments. So that we can do it here. Okay. So this is about, the method overloading concept. For example, I can give one more to print. Can give a different argument also, 2 comma 3 comma 4. Sorry, takes 2 to 3 positional arguments. Okay. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So if I give 7 comma 8, the value is going to be 15. Clear, ma, everyone, about method overloading concept? Any questions? Any questions from this? Any questions? No questions, ah? Can we move on to the next one? So we can see about method overriding now. In Python, they definitely ask this question about method overloading and overriding, whether we can use it or not. Okay. So then you can give the kind of example. So now we will see about, let me also put it in the notepad. Okay, here for the method overriding, the Python doesn't support method overriding. When when a subclass provides a specific implementation for a method that is already defined in superclass, it is considered as a method overriding. Okay, in Python. So let's see how we can do that using this method overriding, and what are the challenges we face. Let's see. So when a subclass provides a specific implementation for a method that is that is already that is already defined in its superclass. Okay, now we can see this. So let me create a class. Let me give a class name. Okay, let me give a book as a class name. Okay, book is a class name. I'm creating a function for this. Read or I'm just giving us library. A library is a function name and self. Okay. So I've created one class and the function name is this. I'm printing this. Um, C in books. N number of books in this library. Okay, like this, I'm giving some text here. And after this, again, what is the next one? Next statement you can read here. So when a class provides a specific implementation for a method. So subclass I'm creating. So subclasses, let's give it as a science book. Okay, I'm just giving a science book. So inside this, what is the superclass? I'm giving inside the superclass. Here also, I'm using the same method with a different implementation. Okay. So like this, I have given a statement. So now I'm going to call this method that is using creating an object. So let me create an object called lib. So lib is equals to book. Sorry, this subclass science of, and then lib dot method is going to be library method. So what is the output is going to be? Anyone tell me what is the output? So you can read this statement and tell me what is the output is going to be. Whether you will get this one or this one. Which one is going to be the output? So what is the output for this one, Ma? For this method overriding? Will you get this output or this one? What is the output? Waiting for your answers. Yes, no one knows. Everyone is there, right? Students, can you tell me what is going to be the output for this one? From the coding itself, you can tell me. This is a concept of method overriding. What will be the output? This one or this one? The less number of signs, yes. The output is yes, good. So it is going to be this one. Okay. So what happened is this class name, a science class name overrides the speak method. So it will override this, the library method from its super class of animal, that is book. Okay. Clear everyone? So this is the basic example of this method overriding. Let me also make a note of this. Okay. And what else is remaining? Let's check it in the PPT. Looping we have done. More examples we have come across. Class, object, method, inheritance, polymorphism. Now it is remaining with encapsulations and then abstractions. So let's see one examples on encapsulation. Is one of the fundamental concepts in the OOPS concept, and actually the main idea it is to describes the idea of wrapping a data and wrapping the data and the methods that work on data within one unit. Okay, so it should work within a one unit. So in this puts a restriction on accessing a variables and methods directly and can prevent the accidental modifications of data. Okay, this puts the restrictions on accessing the variables and methods directly and can prevent the accidental informations of data. Okay, and to prevent the accidental challenges. Object variable can only be changed changed by no object method. Okay, so these are the 3 points. Encapsulation describes the idea of wrapping data and the method that works on data within one unit. And this puts a restriction on accessing the variable and method directly, can prevent accidental modification of data. To prevent the accidental change of an object variable can only be changed by the action, that is the object method. Okay. And this type of variables are also known as a private variable. So let's create one simple example using this encapsulation. First, we can create a base class. Ma, if you have any questions, you can unmute and ask me. Otherwise, please be on mute. Supriya, do you have any questions, Supriya? If not, please be on mute, ma. So classes, I'm giving a base. This is my class name. I'm getting a function, the method, self parameter. So inside the class, I'm going to wrap what? I'm going to wrap a data and the method. As of now, I'm creating a method first. So let's give self dot a is equals to some value. Okay. And also I'm creating one more I've created a two things I've wrapped inside this a base class. Okay, and again I'm creating the another a class called derived. So calling the constructor of the base class. So we need to call the constructor of the base class. How we can call this? So I'm using the same method that is called int method. So that has been done. And next is calling the constructor of a base class. We are going to call the constructor. How we can call the constructor here? So this is the constructor, right? So how we can call this? Using the class name dot and the constructor is init of and then self. Clear? So now we can print it. So print calling the private member base class. The other one you can directly do this a print of self.
ఈ మేడం ఇప్పుడే ఏమి చెప్పలే విందామనుకుంటే.
Okay, ma. So this is the base class and the second one is a derived class. In the base class, I have created one using the constructor. I have created two different what data. So what are the data? So one is Rayalaseema College, and again I'm giving the same content again. And in the subclass again, I've created one method. So now I'm calling the constructor of a base class. So how we can do that using the class name dot the constructor of self. Okay, and then for the next one, you can directly give a self dot of this. You are printing the value of C. Okay, so finally, we can create an object to call the method. Sorry, I'm just creating an object is equals to using object dot. What is the data we need? I need a data of EA. Okay, and so let's see the output for this one. So you can see only one, right? So if use this print that is the object one dot C, then what happens if I give like this? What is the output ma for this one? If I give this, will I get the output or any error? Can anyone tell me? For this one, what is the output if I give this object dot C? So what is the output of object dot C? Object dot A, we got it, right? So what is the answer of this object dot C? So we'll be getting a error for this. That is attribute error. The base object has a no attribute called C. Yes. Clear? Any doubts, any questions from your end regarding this encapsulation? Do you want one more example for this encapsulation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we can see it. I really got shocked. Someone is answering. Who's that? Mostly they won't give any replies, right? The students. Okay. Okay, now we can see one more example. So I won't take much of your time. Okay, we'll complete as soon as possible. So this is also again the encapsulation to protect the members, the data value. So that's why we are going for this encapsulation. Okay, so we are first creating a base class. Okay, so base class in the sense I'm just creating a class called base, and the method is going to be I'm using this init constructor and the self parameter. So here I don't want to give any value to fetch the object value. Okay. And then after this point, here I have created one function. So let me also give clearly. So function. Okay. That is a constructor. Init. Okay. And the next step is, so this and all the commands, ma, don't no, just understand so how I'm doing this, and then protected member. I'm going to create one member. Member means nothing but a data. Protected member. So I'm giving a self dot, and I'm giving the score A is equals to 2. So I'm just giving some value as 2. Is the error? Okay, let's see. Then we can this error. Inconsistent use of days in indication. It's correct only. Let me remove this comments. Fine. Okay. So the next is creating a subclass. So now creating a derived, that is subclass now. So class derived, and I'm using a superclass. Superclass is what? This one. Next is again I'm creating one method here. So now we need to call the constructor of the base class. Okay, we need to call the constructor of the base class. We are not going to call the constructor of the subclass. We are focusing on this base class now. Okay, in this encapsulation, because here only I have a protected data. This is my protected number. Okay, so how to call this constructor of the base class? So we can call it using that is the class name is going to be base. and dot, use the constructor init and then self. So like this, you can call the value. Okay, clear? So again, the indentation, so that's why you, what's the error? So here what we are trying to do, we are calling this constructor of this base class, and I'm trying to print some value. Print calling a protected member of the base class. Okay. So that is going to be what? That is going to be, then you can access it. So using this, you can access the self dot and a. There's error. Here we need to use. Yeah. So that's one. So here we are calling this value. Then if example, so here we have called the construct of the base class. The next step is if you guys are trying to modify the protected variable, then what happens? Okay. So if I am trying to modify the value, so self dot a is equals to 3. Okay, I'm changing the value from 2 to 3. Then again, I'm printing the value again. Okay, so let's create the object for two classes. Okay, so let me create object for the first class. So what is the first class name? Let's take it as the object one is going to be derived. I've created an object for the derived class and object two for the base class. Clear? Sorry. So we have created two objects for two different classes. So now what is the next steps? So I have modified and I have called the value again. This is for derived and this is for the base class. So now calling the protected member. So, can be accessed, but should not be done due to the convention. So you cannot, access these things using the convention. Let's see. So finally, we are going to print the value. That's it. Very simple. So what is the object one? So object one dot, what is the variable? Data variable A. And the next is two dot A. Now we can see the value. So see here. Again, see the first is calling the protected member is 2 and 3 and 3 and 2. So guys, very simple how you are accessing the value. So that is going to be different here. Clear, Amma? So about this encapsulation, if it is going to be in Java, it is a little bit easy, but this is new, right? Python programming. That's why you feel a little difficult. So just understand about init constructor and the self parameter. Then it will be easy for you to understand this concept. Clear, everyone? Any doubts? Any doubts as of now? Any doubts, ma, from anyone? Okay, tomorrow our plan is about is like we can start with that is one topic is remaining Python with this MySQL connector. Okay, it is very simple to connect the MySQL with Python. That is very easy concept. So tomorrow we will see it clearly because we have 4 hours tomorrow, so we can complete it and we can go with the cloud computing pattern. Okay. I hope as of now you guys got some confidence about Python, Java, JavaScript, and about the OS, right? So mostly, I think you guys will be getting opportunity for Python, Java, and for the front end development also. So please, more practice on the things and understand some kind of the other technologies also. You can also work with just know about Figma and the other concepts which is available now. Try it. If you have any questions, also you can connect with me. Okay, I think we can stop today.